All right, guys, happy Thursday. We are officially past the halfway mark of the first week without school, without youth group, with life on hold, essentially. And I don't know about you, but I think I've started going a little stir crazy. But there's only so much staying in one place that I can do. Before I start having some angry thoughts towards the people I live with. I mean, not saying that about Landon. Landon's a better roommate than I am. So he's probably had angry thoughts towards me. But that's what happens when we're stuck in the same house with the same people all day. Anyway, that's why I'm doing this devotional today. Today, we are going to look at John 13, 31 through 35. So today we're talking about Jesus' new command to us and how we're supposed to love others as he loved us. So go ahead and press pause on this video and read it straight from here. And when you're done, press play and we'll jump into the rest of the Devo. All right. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the read. So, many of you guys have heard my story of when I was your age and how I wasn't the nicest person. Had some anger problems, had specific anger problems towards my brother, and yeah, anyway. I was hard to love. I was not kind. I was pretty prideful, bit of a jerk, bit of a bully, and yeah, that was me at your age. Here's the thing though, through all of that, Jesus still loved me. Through all of that, Jesus never wavered for his love for me. But I was hard to love. Yet, there was still people in my life who, because of passages like this, chose to still love me. You may have just had somebody pop into your mind of like, oh yeah, that person's hard to love. But if you just had somebody pop into your mind, you should pray for yourself. Trust me when I say, if you've had the thought of like, oh yeah, that person's hard to love, there's probably someone who finds it hard to love you. That's not bad. Personalities clash. There can be a really nice person that you don't get along with, but that's how it is. But here's the thing. We're called to love those who are hard to love. And you're probably thinking, but the disciples weren't, they weren't hard to love. They were all, they all got along. They seemed to be friends, They seemed to be good, right? Well, that'd be wrong. The disciples are like the definition of a rough friend group. Like, you think your friend group has problems? Have any of your friends tried to go behind your back and try to become the main person in the friend group? Have any of your friends tried to get their parents to tell God that they should be their number one, that their kids should be God's number one and number two man? Did one of your friends try to show off and say, Jesus, let's call fire down from heaven on this town that isn't believing in you, to show how much belief they had? Yeah, no, didn't think so. That was the disciples. Oh yeah. And also Judas, who, betrayed Jesus. But also Peter, who swore that he wasn't going to deny Jesus, who denied him 3 times. So yeah, the disciples were a little rough. But But Jesus loved them the same. Despite their fighting, despite their pride, their sin, their fallenness, Jesus loved them the same. So you may ask, well, how did Jesus love them? Well, right before this story is when Jesus washed the disciples' feet. Now, any of you who have heard teachings on something like this, it's always something along the lines of, their feet, they walked around all day, no cars, they didn't, ride on a donkey or ride on camels or horses or any of that. They walked around on dusty roads in sandals. So their feet would have reeked. Like reeked. That would have been disgusting. And Jesus, who's literally God, got down on his knees, tied a towel around his waist, and cleaned the disciples' feet. This would have been like hired hand, like you would have paid somebody to would be working in your house. It'd be like somebody who cleans your house. They would have paid somebody to do this. And Jesus did it without being asked. Jesus did. Jesus loved his disciples, so he cleaned their feet. He was servant. But he also taught them. He also disciplined them. He also rebuked them. And he did just a lot of those types of things. And I'm not saying that's how you love someone, you rebuke them. But loving somebody isn't just being kind and letting things go. It's wanting the best for them. Jesus wanted the best for his disciples, regardless of what was going on. Loving others, loving those in our family, loving those in the church, like Jesus loved us, means fighting for them. It means fighting for their best, wanting them to know Jesus, wanting them to love Jesus more than we do. The last thing I want to talk about from this passage is something I like to call the Judas element. Pretty catchy, right? So Judas isn't actually here when Jesus says this. It was literally the section right before this. Judas is sent away by Jesus to go betray him. And then Jesus tells the disciples, "This is my new command. You have to love one another as I have loved you." So Judas isn't there, but we see in the Gospels that the disciples didn't know that Judas was going to betray Jesus. This means Jesus expected his disciples to treat those that have hurt them, betrayed them, the same. To still love them, to not judge them by their actions, but to love them like Jesus did. Jesus still washed Judas's feet right before he was going to betray him. Jesus washed Judas's feet after he'd already agreed to betray Jesus. He just hadn't found the right time to do it. Story, we're going to get hurt as we walk in this life. As we continue to love Jesus and rub shoulders with people, we're going to get hurt. And we have to love the people who hurt us all the same. We have to choose over and over again to love them. All right, guys, so I have two questions for you guys, and I want you to pray about them. First, who is somebody in your life right now who is driving you up a wall? Second question, who in your life are you driving up a wall? So the first one, who is driving you up a wall? Second one, who are you driving up a wall? The third one, I want you guys to pray for the grace to love the person who's driving you up a wall, and grace to go an extra step and be kinder to the person that you are driving up a wall. It takes a lot. It takes Jesus to love the people who drive us up walls. And it takes a little extra grace to love people while we're stuck in a house with them. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into our 4th video. As normal, if you want to subscribe, click up here. And if you've missed our previous videos, click over here. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.